gonna get nuts. Let's get nuts.
Welcome back to Trashflix and Burn, the channel that sits through Gotham's finest psychotic breakdowns so you can pretend Tim Burton invented plot structure. Today we're dragging our batarangs across the face of Batman, 1989, the film that asked, what if the world's greatest detective did absolutely no detecting and just punched his way through a Tim Burton fever dream? This isn't a superhero origin story. This is an aesthetic tantrum wrapped in Gothic architecture, loosely stapled to a pile of Prince songs and trauma flashbacks. And the only thing more confusing than the pacing is how Jack Nicholson somehow outacts gravity itself. So grab your bat-symbolic childhood trauma, fire up your internal monologue, and let's dive into the Gothic opera that gave us Batman as a dude who mostly just vibes until crime literally knocks on his girlfriend's door. First of all, this isn't an origin story, it's a midlife crisis in a cape. You walk in expecting emotional depth, maybe a little bat trauma, and instead you get Bruce Wayne, already suited up like a cosplay therapist, working out his issues with his fists. This man doesn't need Alfred, he needs EMDR and a weighted blanket. Then we've got Gotham, a city so dense they collectively forget that the only dude rich enough to own a grappling hook factory might just be the same guy vanishing every time the lights flicker. Who's Batman? I don't know, maybe it's the reclusive billionaire with 400 parent issues and the jawline of a Greek statue. Open your goddamn eyes. And speaking of things that make no sense, hello Harvey Dent. Billy D. Williams walks into this movie with Lando Calrissian levels of charm, clearly thinking he's in a suave legal drama. Jokes on him and on us, because he never gets to be Two-Face. Why? Because Tim Burton runs his films like a goth fever dream with ADHD. Continuity, never heard of her. Coherent character arcs, that's for nerds and Christopher Nolan. This movie is a mood board stapled together with Danny Elfman's soundtrack and vibes, and somehow it still slaps, but it also deserves a timeout and a PowerPoint on how storytelling works. Let's talk about Jack Napier. Oh my god, a villain with daddy issues and a paint fetish. This man walks into Batman 1989 looking like a sleazy lounge singer with a murder kink. He's out here screwing the boss's girl like he's never seen a crime movie, strutting around in Barney's funeral suit, acting like he invented swagger but forgot to install self-awareness. Then comes the Axis Chemicals debacle, a symphony of idiocy. My man's out here pulling a heist in a lab full of toxic soup, flanked by henchmen with IQs in the negative. Batman shows up like a goth SWAT team, says absolutely nothing, classic Bruce, and yeets Jack into a glowing green vat like he's doing a science experiment for extra credit. Honestly, OSHA saw that scene and just quit. Fast forward to the big reveal. Jack peels off those bandages like he's on a reality show called Botched, Gotham Edition, takes one look at his new mug and starts cackling like Kamala Harris or like someone just told him he still has a functioning moral compass. Spoiler, he doesn't. From there, it's all downhill on a unicycle made of chaos. Enter the Joker, a man who thinks murder is foreplay, art is vandalism, and facial moisturizer is for cowards. He's less criminal mastermind and more chaotic incel with a flair for glitter bombs. So yeah, Jack Napier's villain origin story, less tragic fall from grace, more hot mess with a gun and a giggle. The only thing scarier than his smile is the fact that Gotham keeps acting like this wasn't preventable. Enter Vicki Vale, Pulitzer-level camera gear, bargain bin judgment. She's supposed to be a top-tier journalist, but investigates like she's trying to solve a mystery on a cereal box. Falls for Bruce after one dinner that's so awkward it could be studied by anthropologists, and when he pulls the old billionaire vanish act, she decides the logical next step is to follow him to the murder alley. You know, the alley, the one with Pearl's trauma and probably a bat-scented aura of despair. Vicki, babe, sweetie, therapy exists. It's not a crime to use it. Stalking the most emotionally unavailable man in Gotham is not a coping mechanism. And then there's Alfred, dear, loyal Alfred, who folds under romantic pressure like a lawn chair in a windstorm. 1.5 lukewarm dates, and this man is just ushering strangers into the Batcave like it's a goddamn Airbnb. Master Wayne told me to protect the secret, Miss Vale, but he also said he likes blondes, so loyalty, gone. Like Gotham's public funding. Now this version of the Joker is less agent of chaos and more hot topic customer service manager on a 3-day bender. The man poisons shampoo and toothpaste like he's launching a murder-themed beauty line, Joker Skin, for when you want to exfoliate and eviscerate. This dude's entire plan feels like it was brainstormed during a bad acid trip in Eclairs. And those victims, grinning like they just sat through the Snyder Cut and have to pretend it was a masterpiece, even though it felt like watching a moody screensaver for 4 hours with subtitles in pretentious. Then there's the whole hijacking TV like a homicidal Steve Harvey, complete with electrocuting people via joy buzzer. Because why just kill someone when you can also humiliate them like you're running a soul-themed open mic night? The art museum scene? My god, he's out here defacing masterpieces while twerking to Prince like he's auditioning for a cursed reboot of RuPaul's Drag Race Death Drop Edition. Imagine showing up to destroy art with glam squad energy and murder paint. That's not villainy, that's a deleted scene from America's Next Top Psychopath. And let's not forget the final line that sent cinema itself into a coma. He stole my balloons. Like, sir, people are dying, the city's burning, and you're crying over balloons like a toddler at a birthday party with zero cake. This is your villain origin story. Not trauma, not ideology, just balloon theft. Honestly, the Joker didn't need Batman to stop him. He needed a group chat intervention and a slap from his mother. Bruce Wayne's emotional intelligence isn't just low, it's buried somewhere beneath Gotham, in a tunnel labeled mommy issues and denial. The man rolls up to Vicki Vale's apartment like a creepy florist, says absolutely nothing, then proceeds to gaslight her with the intensity of 1,000 flickering bat signals. I mean, Bruce, buddy, maybe don't treat human connection like it's a side quest. And just when he's finally about to drop the bat bomb and be honest for once in his emotionally stunted billionaire life, boom, the Joker kicks the damn door in like he's doing slapstick home invasion. He literally shoots Bruce in the chest, and then Moon walks out like he just won a talent show. And somehow Bruce survives, because he duct-taped a medieval fucking serving tray to his ribs. What is this, Batman? The Renaissance Fair Chronicles? But wait, we're not done. Then Burton drops the big twist. The Joker is the one who killed Bruce's parents, because nothing says gritty psychological depth like retroactively turning your hero and villain into emotionally tangled cosplay siblings. You made me. I made you. Like it's a goddamn soap opera and not a billion-dollar franchise. Look, Tim, symmetry is cool and all, but maybe let's focus on writing a screenplay that doesn't feel like it was storyboarded by an 11-year-old with action figures and a sugar high. Justice may be blind, but this plot is straight up concussed. So Joker throws a literal money parade, tossing $20 million like he's Robin Hood on acid, and somehow is supposed to be surprised that Gotham's out here tripping over themselves for free cash. This is a city that didn't flinch when a clown gassed a museum. Of course they showed up. Gotham's unofficial motto is basically, we die for vibes. Then there's Batman swooping in with his Batwing like a goddamn Final Fantasy cutscene. Stealth mode in the middle of a fucking parade. He scoops up balloons like he's playing a violent claw machine and fires an entire round of missiles that hit nothing. Not Joker, not the stage, not even one unlucky mime. Homie's got the aim of a stormtrooper on Ambien. And then, the piece to what the fuck resistance. Joker pulls out a pistol that looks like it was smuggled out of Yosemite Sam's ass and downs the Batwing in one shot. That gun is longer than a CVS receipt. It breaks the Geneva Convention just by existing. Like, is it magic? Is it Looney Tunes physics? Are we just pretending the laws of reality don't apply once the clown pulls a prop from Acme Corp? What are we even doing here? Alright, buckle the fuck up. Let's rip into the final whatever showdown between Batsy and Jack Nicholson's alter ego. So apparently the final showdown goes down at some hidden-ass cathedral that just popped into existence like a last-minute afterthought. And then we've got the Joker, that clown fucking nuisance, nonchalantly scaling it, together with Vale, in high heels no less. I mean, seriously? Who the hell writes a villain entrance like it's a runway walk at a fucked-up fashion show? Then there's Batman, who's in more brawls than a debt-ridden medieval knight on a bender. He's dangling from a gargoyle like some half-assed contestant on American Ninja Warrior Goth Edition, because apparently clinging to stone is the secret to solving all your problems. And just when you think the absurdity can't get any worse, Joker takes a nosedive to death. Dragged down by a statue and a complete disregard for basic goddamn physics. And with that, Gotham is saved. Saved, you say? More like left in a shambles of unresolved trauma. The bat signal is up there flickering like Gotham's own miserable fuck you neon sign. This entire meltdown of a climax is less a heroic victory and more a chaotic pile of narrative bullshit that leaves you wondering if someone just threw a dart at a wall of ridiculous ideas. Bravo, you absolute clusterfuck of a story. Batman, 1989. I have to say the year because there's a lot of Batsies out there is what happens when someone snorts a line of noir, slaps on a rubber suit and says, "Let's make trauma sexy." It's a chaotic Art Deco fever dream full of one-liners, latex and more daddy issues than a Gotham group therapy session. Yeah, it's iconic, yeah, it's fun. But let's not lie to ourselves, this movie is the cinematic equivalent of eating gourmet cake with a fucking Freddy Krueger glove. You'll have a good time, sure. But you're also gonna lose something. The Joker, fabulous. He's a glitter-covered war crime in clown shoes. The Batmobile, absolute thirst trap. That thing has curves and trauma. The plot, a beautiful, confusing dumpster fire that somehow forgot what a story arc is. And Batman, brooding billionaire in a leather kink suit who thinks emotional growth is just punching harder. His real superpower, not gadgets, not martial arts, lying to criminals, to Gotham, to himself. Thanks for surviving another episode of Trashflix and Burn. If you like this roast, smash that like button harder than Joker smashed that museum vase. Subscribe for more cinematic chaos. And remember, if your superhero needs a butler, a therapist, and $1 trillion trauma budget just to function, maybe he's not a hero. Maybe he's just a sad guy with unresolved shit and a branding problem. Max Cynic out.